Let's talk.
Tell me when you start, and I'll start talking about something.
Okay, we'll tell you when we're going to start.
What if I told you we already started?
Yeah. Then I'm not that surprised. Knowing Danny and you being friends with Danny, I can see that. I really wanted to stop at the pilot on the way up, and I was trying to look for it. I'm like, it'd be cool if I just took a picture of the pilot, because you guys have talked about the pilot being such a cool place to work over so many years, and it's giving me like nostalgic feelings of like my retail days. And I was just laughing. I mean, I'll have to admit, I barely just started listening to the podcast, even though you guys have been doing it for quite a few weeks now. But also, such as life, I have kids, a wife, job, and sometimes you don't find that free time. Well, it's just like, 10:30 at night or like drive an hour to a podcast.
It's okay. We know. You drove an hour?
No, it was an hour and 12 minutes exactly.
Yeah.
That's how much that's how much you guys mean to me. I drove an hour.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. And without further ado, do you want to introduce our guest?
Yeah. First of all, welcome everybody back to the podcast.
Oh, crap! I forgot.
Did you forget about our listeners?
I forgot we started, dude.
Damn,
I completely
man.
forgot. No. Damn. Okay, so welcome guys. Welcome everybody back. Episode number 4, dude. Number 4.
I didn't even think we were gonna make it out of episode 1.
I know, dude. It was tough. Yeah. It was tough. But hey, we're here.
Quattro.
4 is my favorite number.
Is it?
Yeah. I was born on August 4th. 4 is my favorite number.
Oh, happy late birthday. You a Leo?
Thank you. Yeah, Leo.
Oh, dude, I'm a Leo too. I just had mine too, man.
Happy late birthday.
Did I say happy birthday? I forgot.
Damn. Dude,
You're Virgo, right?
No,
Libra. Me and Jacko was just talking about that today.
Jacqueline would know.
Yeah. I have the astrology list still on my desk.
Did you guys see that it changed?
Yeah, that's fake news.
I was like, oh, God, I'm still Leo.
After that many decades, you can't change it.
Dude, that's what I said.
Yeah.
But then again, they go and change Pluto from not being a fucking planet. So
It's a fucking planet.
Yeah.
It's always a planet.
It's all in my heart. It's a planet.
Yeah. Even though it's like, 7 light years away, but it's still a planet.
Still there. It matters. Fucking matters, dude.
Blue dog.
Who's Blue Dog?
The planet's blue, and then Pluto's a dog, so blue dog.
Oh, damn.
I have bad jokes, so prepare to your listeners. It may be like a handful of bad jokes.
Bro, that's a good dad joke. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Blue Dog. Well, anyways, I'm excited to announce and to welcome Christopher Greer, my very good friend, to the podcast. Thank you for driving up. We really appreciate it. We enjoy having you. So yeah, I know Ed just met you. So
I mean, I've met him a couple times.
You met
here and there, like real quick. But I don't know.
But this is the first time you're gonna have a solid conversation with him. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Usually it's the last few podcasts. I know Lupe, but the last couple of them they've been your guests.
Yep.
Well, they're our guests.
Yeah.
But you've known them, and this is the first time that someone that I know. And yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be different. We're going to try some new things, and we'll see how it goes. But, as he was, Christopher was mentioning, life happens. Stuff gets, anything that can happen will happen. Usually when you're, trying to set things up. And unfortunately for us, we just had a busy week. So we really didn't prepare too well for this one. But you know what? This is our Friday. We just want to relax, enjoy a company, with our guests, and, just see what what is it your title is again?
I am the Assistant Agricultural Commissioner, Sealer of Waste and Measures for Tulare County.
Can they make a longer title for you?
No. Just typing it out. It's so long. It's ridiculous.
Dude, try getting that on a coffee mug, dude.
Yeah.
God, dude.
Best Ag Commissioner Assistant.
Yeah. That's why you do like the ASST.AG.COMM.
You gotta save as many letters as you can.
Acronyms. Right? God damn, dude.
Hey, everyone at the government loves acronyms too. So
do they?
It works out. Yep.
Yeah. The only other acronym I know is CDFA, and that's just because I know an ARMA.
Right.
That's the only reason they think.
Yeah, I could rattle off acronyms for days.
You like that? That's your thing?
No.
No, it's just
not.
I think you deal with a lot of them. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I thought you meant like, hey, I wonder what that means. So you'll try to figure it out.
Oh, no. I'm not that smart. No, like we just rattle them off, like, because there's such long names for many, many things that we do at the local, state, federal level that we just rattle them off, and we are our own little world, and so we expect everyone to know those acronyms. And even within our own system, and we'll get into that later, we have to say it and then explain what it is, even to our own people. So it's kind of crazy. It's crazy.
Damn. So we could start by saying, where's Tulare? I don't think a lot of people know where Tulare is at.
That's a great question. Usually when I grew up in Tulare, so Tulare is also a city. Tulare is city of Tulare, but also Tulare County. Similar to Madera. Madera is Madera and then Madera County. We are actually pretty centrally located right in between Bakersfield and Fresno. Oh. So, I mean, probably 5-10 minutes, give or take. We have an equal distance between. And that's usually what I explain to people, like, oh, where are you from, Tulare? Oh, I don't know what's that. Oh, Fresno? Okay, yeah. Bakersfield? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, right in the smack middle. Yeah. So we are right there. But we are also the county between Fresno County and Kern County, which is Bakersfield, the largest city in Kern County. So we're right there, but we are one of the largest producing counties, agricultural counties in California. So Tulare County, Fresno County, and Kern County, we make up a good, let's see, do my math right here. So
he's using his fingers.
I am using my fingers.
You can't see it, but he's using his toes right now too.
Probably, I want to say maybe a little less than a fourth of California's whole total agriculture production in California. I think California is $60 billion in agriculture production. Fresno, Kern, and Tulare's $24 billion in agriculture production. So just those three counties, we make up a good fourth or third of California agriculture production. So pretty popular in that sense, in the agriculture world.
So all those commercials back then, Got Milk, I'm sure it all came from freaking Tulare County, right?
Yeah, funny you say that. We're actually the largest dairy producing county in California and the world.
Oh, damn.
California, then the nation, and the world. So back in the statistics are a little bit dated just because of statistics, but in 2022, our gross milk production was $2.6 billion in just Tulare County. So quite a bit.
Wow.
Does that include almond milk?
It does not.
It does not
include almond milk.
Why?
I'm sorry.
It's not milk?
It's not milk. No. Well,
it's a substitute. That's why if you're lactose intolerant, you can take almond milk.
Is it like I can't believe it's not butter?
Yeah,
that's not butter either.
That's oils.
That's not butter,
dude. This is why you.
I really can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, that's why the name. It's what is it?
Oil,
redundant
right?
Or whatever, because it's really not butter. Yeah, it's a spread. Yeah, vegetable oil spread.
So CDFA actually has it gets into a larger aspect of everything, but CDFA, California Department of Food and Agriculture, as I explained. Some people might know what CDFA is. They have a statistical manual for how we create the crop report and statistics. And then there's also NAS, which is National Agricultural Statistics, I think standards. It's a federal program. And so combined with the federal, state, and then local, we work on this statistical data. And so they have a list of what we call actual commodities. So even though, say, let me use an example, cannabis is still still allowed to be produced in Tulare County or many other counties in California, but it's not considered agricultural commodity. So even though it has gross agricultural production value, we don't list it on our crop report. But industrial hemp, which is the same thing as cannabis sativa, it just has the lower 0.3 THC. Thank you. THC, that is an agricultural commodity because they have many different definitions, but you can use for twine, other parts of it. But that production value in industrial hemp can be used. So similar to dairy and cattle and calves can be used, the milk produced from dairy cows can be used. However, a lot of the other byproducts of these commodities are not always considered a commodity. Mm-hmm. So, example, almond milk is not necessarily an agricultural commodity in that sense.
Boo.
I know. Yeah. So I have to preface this call where I feel like my job and a lot of things I talk about is extremely knowledgeable and entertaining and interesting. Many people may not. So I just went down that rabbit hole, and everyone's like, hopefully no one turned off when I started talking about statistics, because it can be not the most exciting pathway.
I mean, Ed's not in the ag world, so I mean, maybe he's. I mean, I hope you didn't lose him.
No. My thing is, I've always liked seeing the what happens behind the scenes. So this is stuff that I don't know about. So I'm like, hey, let me take what I can from it. You know what I mean? Obviously, I didn't understand 100% of it, you know, but I'm like, dude, I got the gist of it. So, cool. But I do find that exciting, and like, hey, what happens? You know, because I only know truck to shelf. That's the only part that I've seen, because, you know, as a truck driver, I've seen the truck to shelf part. I don't see what happened before I got it. You know what I mean? Right. So it is nice to kind of, you know, put one and one together. I'm like, oh, so that's how I got in my truck, or that's how I got to the fields, you know, or to the the grocery store. But yeah, dude, it's pretty crazy, man.
Cool.
So so being obviously in the Central Valley, how did this job, like, how did you get not pushed, but how did you kind of go more into this kind of field of ag in general?
Yeah, it's a great question. I was thinking about that. Listening to you guys' past podcast. So I was growing up, I was heavily involved in agriculture in the sense that I showed animals. Let me go a little bit past there. My grandfather, back in his younger days, had to drop out of school because his father passed away at a very young age. He was freshman year. He had to drop out of high school, and he had to start working. He had two siblings. He had a mom he had to support. And this was back in the 20s, 30s or so. And so he had to support them. So he started working hard. Well, him and his brother worked really, really hard and started a dairy. It was barely a little small dairy cow dairy, but they worked hard and hard and hard, and they established a very nice dairy in Tulare. Well, started in Pixley, California, so it's in Tulare County. But then they moved to Tulare. And then generations passed. I have a very older family. I'm the youngest grandchild on both sides. And so my grandparents were in their late 70s when I was already born. So I have a very, very old family in that sense. Anyways, and so my grandfather started it, had a very nice dairy, passed it on to my uncles, and then eventually passed on to my cousins. Anyway, knowing being involved in the dairy industry, having that involvement, my mother was really, she was raised on that dairy. She thought she was really important to be involved in 4-H, which is the 4-H is a youth program for agriculture. Stands for, I think, 4-H means hearts, hands, health, and I'm a little removed. I can't remember fourth heart, but look it up. Anyway, so we were on a 4-H, and I showed animals. And so I showed swine, I showed sheep, and I showed dairy cattle. And so I was really involved in that. I loved animals. I loved animal production. Loved raising them. It was just our life. I played sports and whatnot, but animals were our lives. Summers and even winters, breeding projects, we loved it. Well, going on, did that through high school as well, through FFA, Future Farmers of America. I loved it. Thought I was going to be a large animal vet. I loved animals. I loved, helping animals, doing that. But one point, I actually even, in high school, I volunteered or interned at the UC Davis lab in Tulare. There's a UC Davis lab that does milk quality, necropsy. It's a hub for UC Davis. And there are crazy animals coming, even from the zoo. They have elephants there. They have exotic animals. They do all necropsies. And in case you don't know what necropsy is, it's pretty much an autopsy for animals. And I was doing that, and I think I started getting nauseous with the amount of
poop.
Yeah, not poop, but like blood, like secretions, the smell. It's a different environment.
Oh, damn.
And so I started relating it to like humans. By the farthest stretch of your imagination, I could never be a doctor. And so I started correlating that doctor and animal connection. I was like, you know what? I don't think I could do the whole vet thing. It's a whole length of the doctor. You're a doctor by all means, and paperwork. And so
this one was in high school?
This was in high school.
This
yeah.
was in high school,
Yeah, and so I still went to go ahead and went to college, and I went to College of School at COS, the junior college in Visalia. I still went going in animal science pre-vet, and then I really just decided to switch to ag business. Long story long, and we can get back to my pre-jobs if we wanted to, if the time permits. But I graduated, transferred to Fresno State, graduated ag business. I switched to ag business as I decided, animal science was my thing. And I had a friend that was like, hey, you know what? My mom and grandma and even grandpa, they all work for Tulare County. You should really be searching for jobs at the county level. And I'm like, okay. I've never even thought about county government. I don't even know if I even understood county government at that point.
What did you think before? Like, what did you want to do before that?
I really didn't know.
Oh, you really didn't know?
Okay. I had no idea. I worked in retail management. So I was, I think at the time I graduated, I was assistant manager at Banana Republic at the outlet mall. I really loved it. I loved sales. I loved forecasting. I loved making my sales goal. I loved like retail in that sense. I love the customer service. If you can't already tell, I'm a pretty outgoing person. Yeah. And so I really love talking to people. I love doing that. I love managing. I manage staff too. So I really
overmanage.
I probably.
I'm kidding.
That's called micromanaging. I heard you guys talk about that in your last podcast too. And so I just learned about all that, and I really enjoyed it. So I was like thinking somewhat agribusiness. So maybe I'd go into financing. Thinking about in sales as in that management level, I was good at forecasting. I was good with my numbers. I was good with my bottom line and looking at just how to manage the financial parts of a business. And so I was thinking that, and then, like I said, my friend, a good friend at the time, she told me, hey, try the county. And so I looked at it, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll be a dairy inspector. Since I was animal production oriented, I was like, oh, okay, I knew about that. I knew about branding inspectors, I knew about dairy inspectors. And I found this job that said Ag and Standards Inspector Trainee. And I was like, oh, it says Ag in it. Heck, I don't know. And so I applied. And so I interviewed and whatnot, and I got the job. I had to, do some thinking because it was like a $4 pay cut.
Okay, so question real quick.
Yeah, go please.
So
I talk a lot. So.
No, you're good, dude. So when it comes to applying for this job and whatnot, so what were the requirements? Did your degree help you at all? What were some of the things that they needed?
That was a good question. I slid by. So technically, this job really wanted like biology or chemistry. Hard science, or like pest management, or crop science, plant science. They wanted a lot of those non-animal per se, and not ag business. But ag business slid by because it was agricultural in nature. So you needed a bachelor's degree to get this job. Okay. And it was a training level. So, baseline, you go on the job and you learn everything. And so I was like, okay, I got that. I have a lot of the other, I knew about commodities, I wasn't the best about like pest and plant management or plant science, but like I knew about plants, I knew about agriculture. And so I went in, and I think like just having overall general agriculture experience really helped get the job. And this was back in 2010. And so that was when the local, state, and federal government had just got out of the little mini recession of like 2007 to 2010. There was like hiring freeze. There was like budget cuts. A lot of counties were like laying off people. And so this was one of the first times they hired in like 3-4 years too. And so I got in. I was really excited. Again, I took it like a kind of a $4 pay cut. At 23, that's kind of a big pay cut, right? But I had I'll be pretty straightforward. I had a lot of family that were like, oh, you graduated college, and I just graduated about like 4 or 5 months ago. I graduated. This was in May of 2011. I graduated in like December of 2010. So I just barely graduated fully out of college with my bachelor's degree 5-6 months. And so I had a lot of family gatherings. Easter went out. So, when are you going to get a real job? Yeah. And or like, when are you going to get like a job that you can use your degree on? And, it's hard to be like, I'm making decent, I can pay my bills. I'm living on my own. Like, I'm fine. Like, just because I don't have a job that my degree needs, like I have that. But, you know, as a 23-year-old, you get pressured and
as a 23-year-old, when you're at making those $4 more than what the county is offering, what is your mentality there? Are you thinking like, okay, this is a career? Because it's fair to say that, you know, that's a good job as well. What was your thought there before the pressure of people?
No, that's a great question. I was making like $18, $50, $19 an hour back in 2010 or 2011, and at that time that was pretty good. I think minimum wage was still like only like $10 an hour, so I was making good. And it dropped to like 15. It was to be exact, it was 15, 13 an hour. And to drop that was rough. And I was like, you know, I had to look at my bills and see, okay, I can do this, because long term hopefully has the potential to move up, because we have, you know, you can see on the county website there's like steps and whatnot. And so I was like, okay, hopefully, you know, I was always been a go-getter and someone that can like really work hard to move up. As a, you know, I was assistant manager for multiple places at 23, and so like I was oftentimes managing people in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, or even older. And so like, I can do this. And so I took that cut, and best decision I ever did, because 13 years later, I'm at where I'm at now. And even like looking back to, I think my first 2 weeks on the job, I worked like 40 hours of overtime. Oh, and they didn't even talk about like overtime. They didn't talk about that was a thing. They just like, you know, talked to me and put in. It was kind of a long way to get hired, but eventually I got hired, just because the county government, it takes a long time. But yeah, so I literally went to Dinuba for the first time. So I lived in Tulare County my whole life, but I'd never been to the city of Dinuba before. And that was the first place I was stationed. I'm like, what is this place? And it's only like, you know, 20 minutes away from Tulare. It's not like some like foreign country, but it's Dinuba. And so I'd never been to Dinuba before, and I literally were there till like 8, 9 o'clock at night looking at fruit. And it was just a very like whirlwind, crazy thing to think about at 23 years old. Yeah. Like, this is what happens. Like, you kind of get almost a culture shock at like, this is the process behind the scenes. Because you as you said similar to like the whole process of the shipping part before the actual item gets on the shelf. Like, this is before that. And like, you don't ever think about that. You like, even growing up being like a promoter of agriculture, FFA and 4-H, we really promote about ag literacy and the understanding of the whole pathway. And even I didn't even understand that, even though I would vocalize and preach and talk about ag literacy, I hadn't even idea of that whole pathway. So it was kind of a cool culture shock at first.
Damn. Okay. So now you're in the ag thing. You know, you know, you got the county job or whatever. How easy or how hard is it to like transfer, not necessarily transfer to a different department, but more, you know, get a promotion from within? Like, how are those steps?
Yeah, good point. Oftentimes when we hire people, we kind of tell them, like, you know, they come in as a ag and standard inspector trainee, or they're applying for that. You know, sometimes they're timid, or they, you know, I feel like they're not ashamed. That's probably lack of a better word, but they come in not knowing much about our office. And I have to reassure them, because I was in that same boat as I just mentioned. I had no idea what our office did. No idea. And I still learn after 13 years. I still learn what we do, all the different avenues that we do. And so when I say that, because like transferring to other departments or divisions within the county is very, very unlikely, very unheard of. I think we've had like 1 to 2 people in my 13 years that have transferred to a different department within the county, because it's just not, there's nothing the same.
It doesn't transfer
like,
well?
It doesn't transfer. Like, it just doesn't, the things we do are not nowhere close to what anyone else does in the county. And so I think one person transferred to environmental health, doing like the food safety, health inspections and whatnot, because she had prior experience. Besides that, like I said, it's like maybe one or two. It's kind of crazy.
So the job that you got, that you started on the bottom, that was like an entry level position, right?
Yep.
And then you just kind of worked your way up?
Yeah. And so we have actually, and you guys have mentioned this in other podcasts, we have actually state licenses that we have to do additional. And so maybe at the time I got hired, they weren't as forthcoming with that because it felt like you had to go back to school. So we actually have 8 state licenses at the lower level that we have to take through California Department of Food and Agriculture to get us qualified to do certain regulatory enforcement. So the foundation of an ag and standard inspector or the county ag commissioner is regulatory enforcement. So we are enforcing the laws and regulations of the Food and Ag Code, the California Code of Regulations, the Business and Profession Code, local ordinances, federal guidelines, procedures, pretty much the law, and as it relates to agriculture and many different facets. And so these licensing exams are testing you of your aptitude of these certain categories. So there's 8 of them. Some of them are like commodity regulations, which detail packaging. There's restrictions on the size of packaging and the weight of packaging and the identity, responsibility, and quality. The maturity standards, broccoli florets are supposed to have so many florets in a certain color to be able to be produced.
Oh, wow.
Citrus actually has to have a ratio of sugar and acid to be able to be picked and produced and put in the store for a consumer. And so there's these commodity regulations that many people have zero idea about, which again, I didn't either before I started. And they have to learn about many of these. They have to take a test.
So wait, hold on. Let's go back real quick. The broccoli thing threw me off, dude. So the broccoli florets have to have a certain amount of broccoli florets to be considered broccoli, or just to be able to get picked?
Just to be able to get picked.
Oh, bro. I was like, well, what is it?
Just to be able to get picked. And I probably speaking a little bit not in the... there's a synopsis that shows it, but we don't have broccoli in Tulare County.
I know. But I was like, oh shit.
But no, I mean, even the same to like asparagus. There's like a color asparagus. There's melons. Fresno County is a large melon producer, and they have to test. They have to make sure the color. They have to make sure the bricks, which is the sugar acid ratio, pretty much. They have to make sure that qualifies. Because if not, then you are and it was brought up years and decades ago from the actual melon industry or these commodity groups that want to be like, hey, we want to make sure everyone's playing fair. And so the only way to play fair is us to get together and bring up a standard at which everyone should meet so that everyone plays fair. Because there's people, same with the citrus industry. I say citrus because Tulare County is one of the largest citrus counties in California. Making sure that no one, because even if someone picks a week early, and so a lot of people don't know this too, people pick most of the citrus in the October, November, December range. They pick it. No one can see your shirt, but they pick citrus the color of your shirt.
No way.
So people don't pick oranges orange. So a good portion of the early part of citrus is picked at a green state. You look dumbfounded.
No, dude. I went to go pick or drop off a load one time, dude, and I actually went to an orange packing plant, and I think it was in Fowler or something, and it's just freezers, but they're green oranges. It's you just said it right now. I was like, holy crap! And I asked, and it was for a concentrate, but I was like, oh yeah, they don't come in orange, dude. They come in green. So I was like, holy crap, you're right.
Yeah,
dude, I was dumbfounded right now. Holy shit.
Yeah, and they put them in a room, and they I don't think it's ethylene. I'm trying to think of the.
It's a gas, right?
Yeah, it's a gas.
They do that to tomatoes too, right?
Yeah, to ripen them. It's a ripener. It's
Holy
a
shit,
natural gas. It's not like anything crazy bad gas. I heard about your guys' Capri Sun.
Oh, dude.
It's
not
fresh in his mind
flammable
because he had an hour drive.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so funny, dude.
It's maybe not flammable, but yeah, it's a natural gas agent that ripens it, and so that ripening accelerates it, and that's actually different too. Like I said, I'll get really boring with this crap, but there's when you test it. So we test it straight from the field. And what we do is that's why chemistry is an allowed degree, because we actually do this chemical titration. So we get the oranges, we pull them from the truckload. There's 50 bins in a truck. We pull about 20. We go put them in this juicer. We juice them. We put it in, and we put it in this cylinder. We put what we call hydrometer that measures the soluble solids. And then we put so much with what we call sodium hydroxide, which is, with the phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is an indicator. And we put that in, then we measure the sodium hydroxide, and no one can see me shaking my hand.
I was about to say, bro, your hand gestures are on point, bro.
I'm doing this because we swirl it. We swirl it with the sodium hydroxide, and we swirl it, and that when there's a chemical reaction, which is the color change, we measure the sodium hydroxide used plus what the hydrometer does on the bricks, and that shows you the sugar to acid ratio. And as long as it meets that limit, then it's considered a acceptable sugar to acid ratio for the state of California standards. If it does not, they get these guidelines. If they still don't pass, it goes to juice, so that you don't eat that orange in the market.
Oh, okay. So they'll always have something for it, whether it doesn't pass. It
can still go juice. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Not gonna go to waste, but
It
you
just
get less
won't
money.
Much less.
Way less money.
Much
Dude,
less.
the farmer's just gonna go up to you and just slide you $100. But hey, bro, did it pass? Dude?
Well, and that's kind of the training too. Like there has been time, and especially in my time, that the grower or the field manager is right behind you, just staring at you, and you're like a 24-year-old doing this test, like just sweating bullets, because you could cost this grower potentially a lot of money. And so there's a whole process. If it doesn't do, they can wait 3 days. Then you do what we call official, which you make sure all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted. Because the first one's kind of what we call cursory. So, there could be room for error. But you can do that whole official one, and once that official that's done. That's done.
Damn.
So where does this happen? Because I have worked in citrus before, and I have seen the pack house send reps out there to check the bricks.
Yep.
But and I don't want to throw Madera County under the bus.
Yeah.
But I've never seen the process that you're saying in the field. So can it also happen at the pack house? Is that?
So we do them 99.9 at the pack house.
Oh, okay.
So Kern County, since it's kind of like I don't know if it's geographical, but Kern counties are one of the earlier counties that the oranges start producing. So Maricopa, down Kern County, there's the ones that start, like the citrus starting to become mature at that season. And so they'll start picking like crazy. Kern County is another large citrus county in California, if not the largest, perhaps, between us and them. And they'll start moving it, and then they'll move the citrus up to Tulare County. So Tulare County does have the largest amount of citrus packing facilities. And so there's kind of a two-way. There's a color test. So there's like this actual color block that we have to make sure that even though the green is like a color block, they can't be like dark green. They have to be like somewhat mild green. And like 3/4 of the orange. It's this whole standard. As long as they do that, Kern County's in the field doing the test because they're the earliest ones. But then once they come up to here, we test them at the packing facility. All packing facilities we go out in September. We'll go out in like the next week or two and testing these presses. Like they're like a big machine that like presses the oranges and juices them.
Can you put that on your story on Instagram, please?
Yeah. I'll find a citrus press and send it out.
Yeah,
We'll
and can you? Yeah, so we could post it. Yeah.
I'm literally talking about like 1/80th of my job right now, but it doesn't matter.
He's like, I don't get to that until next season.
We're already 43 minutes into this. So
Do you have a timer?
I have 7:43. So I don't know if we start at 7.
We start at 7:15. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry. But yeah, this is like 1/80th of like our actual job.
33.
Okay, cool. Well,
33.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a week's worth of podcast.
Hey,
everybody.
Come back next week. Let's come back next week. Well, to be continued. And so that's a lot of people actually that we call that standardization because it's standards that everyone has to meet. But a lot of counties call it consumer protection because it's protecting the consumer from making sure that they don't get like a crappy piece of orange. And before I started working this job, I had no idea that like eating an orange could be different. So like if you have what we call a low soluble solid, you can eat it, but like it really just kind of doesn't eat well. It doesn't feel like there's actually orange there. Versus like a low acid orange, like you eat it and it just tastes like a blah. So you want that high acid and you want that high soluble solid. So you bite into an orange, after you peel it, you have like a good orange, and then it has like a good acid taste too.
Okay, so now with that being said, what can you might not know this, and this is me just fucking asking a stupid ass question, but what can a farmer change to up the acid, the sugar acid, or the other thing that doesn't make it taste blah?
Varieties. There's certain varieties that are known to have high acid, high sugar, high acid, but also high sugar. But high bricks, later on, more maturity. When they pick it too, and that sounds really weird, but like atmospheric weather, if it's really rain, if there's an inversion layer, those all mess with the bricks and the acid ratio.
Now, what is an inversion layer?
Oh God, are you testing me really?
No, I'm not testing you. It's just you say it, and
so I think inversion layer is like a cloud cover. Like sometimes if it's really cloudy, that becomes a layer between like the sun and the UV lights penetrating the actual like ground. So it's kind of like an inversion layer that like prevents different levels of heat, airflow, atmospheric pressure into the ground level.
That's perfect, bro. You got to remember, you're talking to a 2.0 grade student. Right, bro.
I feel like that was a 2.0 question. But, I hope, hey, please, anyone like message Ed and Danny if I'm incorrect with that that's listening, because I would like to learn from them.
Please, if you have questions, call the Tulare County. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I might mean by ending a closing statement, Danny, but still.
No, we just started, man.
Okay.
We just started.
But,
all right.
Oh, good.
No, please, dude. You're the best.
I'm just like I'm all talking.
He was gonna talk shit.
Yeah, not this time. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna try to keep it like PG-13.
There you go. That's a good one. 13, dude.
13.
I think Simpsons are PG-13, so we're good.
No, because they don't cuss.
They don't.
But
PG-13 cuss.
But come on, Itchy and Scratchy, dude. Come on, the violence, dude.
Yeah,
Sideshow Bob.
Yeah,
He doesn't cuss.
He murders people.
He tries anyway.
I guess, yeah.
All right, man. So hey,
if I didn't say where I was from and what I worked for, this would be like totally TV.
Oh yeah, I know, and that's again why people don't want to do the it's the identity thing, man. People.
Danny should know it's TVMA for me.
All right.
Go with your question, Ed. You're
no,
good.
I'm kind of curious on what we can get you to say now, dude. I'm like, hey, this we can turn this podcast a complete 180, dude.
Hey, we can have a whole nother ag leadership podcast about careers and personalities and relationships and ag leadership. We probably can have that,
dude. I'm down. I just don't want to cry, dude.
Did you go to Danny's commencement?
Yes, I did.
That's where I know you from.
Yes, yeah,
he was there.
Yeah.
When I told him
go
about
get tacos too? I feel like you were there.
He did
at the end at the
yeah,
Atlas
with
Ovens.
Malvinder.
That dude.
Oh yes.
I met you there too. So I met you
Malvinder.
twice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a whole synthesis there.
We did.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
I forgot about that, dude.
Yeah.
Like come to Jesus moment with everyone. I was like,
Yeah.
dude. Felt good,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Felt good. He's like, dude, if you thought this felt good, dude, just imagine being over there. I'm like, damn, I wonder what happened over there, dude.
I didn't say it felt good. I hated synthesis. No offense. I just thought that was.
I never got to lead synthesis.
I did.
damn.
I just.
I'll shout out Danny. He never put me in charge of synthesis.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I did once, twice.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Sidebar, squirrel.
Yeah.
It's like getting chosen last for dodgeball, dude. It's cool. I get it.
Yeah. Story of my life.
All right, dude. So 13 years inside the, your professional career, with ag. What are the funnest moments that you've had, or there's got to be a genuine a time in your job where you're like, holy crap, this is cool. I've never done this before, or oh, I didn't know this worked, or how it worked.
That's a great question. So after 13 years, let's see, let's track back a little bit. 2016, 2014, met my wife.
On the job?
No. She's
I was gonna say that. There you go, bro.
At a brew fest, actually. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah. Cool. No, she's a financial advisor in Fresno, actually. So shout out to her. It's a completely different world.
You make her drive, dude?
I don't make her drive. She chooses to drive.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, I would have.
We thought about it. We thought about moving to Fresno, but all of our family, her family and my family, are both in by Southern Tulare. So kids,
I'll get you a nice car. Just make the drive.
Yeah. She has a hybrid. Yeah.
just curious. Has she listened to the podcast?
I don't know if she has or not.
Is she going to listen to this?
Hopefully she'll listen to this one. If not,
shout her out, bro. Maybe that'll get her to
Micah Greer. You have to listen.
Hi,
to
Micah. Micah, if you're listening, and this is proof that you're listening, send a thumbs up emoji to me.
on the social media on the
Yeah. Oh, okay. Comment, thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. We got another listen, man.
Got to listen to
One more. Yeah.
She has an hour drive. She listens to the podcast left and right. So.
Oh, damn. There you go. She got time, dude.
Shame on her. Call her out. Anyway, so yeah, we met, we got married in 2016, and just because getting married and looking at life, and I as I mentioned, my first day of on the job, my first pay period, overtime, that didn't stop. So fresh fruit, many people don't know, it's fresh fruit. Like it can only be stored so much, and so Tulare County is the largest, or one of the largest, exporting counties in California and in the United States. So we, as much as we produce, we export that much as well to over 90 different countries around the world. And so we're always busy. So Monday through Friday, holidays, early mornings, late nights, we were working. And some people just didn't want overtime. I was fine before kind of getting married. I still worked all those overtime. But once you get married and then start having kids, you don't want to work as much overtime. Here and there is great, but you look at work-life balance versus money and whatnot. And so there's opportunity to me to promote to what we call Ag and Standards Inspector 4, which is a supervisor in that sense. And so I went ahead and applied, and I promoted to Inspector 4, and that was kind of I kind of felt like I was actually finding my groove, because I went from being somewhat higher up in retail management, assistant manager. The only person above me was the store manager. So, of course there was district managers and regional managers, but at that location it was only one person. But then I went to all the way to the bottom as a trainee. And that was kind of a little bit of not a dig, but like a, realization that, there's different paths in this world. Anyway, so I went to that, and, I kind of started finding my groove. I enjoy managing people, no matter how difficult or I guess so rewarding it is. I still enjoyed it. And so I went through that, and then to move up, we actually have even more licenses that we have to take. So there's that initial 8 that we have to do, or we want to do for that inspector, but there's what we call a deputy ag commissioner and deputy sealer exams, and then there's ag commissioner and sealer exams as well. And so you have to take written ones, and if you pass the written ones, you have to take oral exams. So you have to answer questions in an oral panel. Oh God, it took me forever. It literally took me forever. And even though I'm a talker and I enjoy talking and I don't get that nervous, it was a lot. There's so much to learn about what we do too, and so all the questions are different. It's just a lot. Anyways, fast forward that I passed those eventually after many too many times I don't want to mention of taking them and failing and then passing. I finally got promoted to the assistant position in the very beginning of 2020, February of 2020. And so at that point, even though that I had some ups and downs, ebbs and flows of is this really what I want to do in life? This is my long-term career. That is when I actually realized this is something I want to do, because I can actually make a difference. I can make a difference because one of the mission statements of the Ag Commissioner system, what we call CACASA, which is California Ag Commissioner and Sealer Association. It's a statewide organization of all ag commissioners. The mission statement is promoting agriculture and protecting the environment, agriculture, people. So it's kind of a both. We wear two hats in many different facets, but promoting agriculture but protecting it. So if we don't protect agriculture, there's no agriculture to promote. Wow. And so there's that kind of thing. And so, and very oftentimes, and maybe I've even talked to Danny or many other people get in this job and think, and it's funny, I was texting Danny, animal cop. You guys said it, talking about Louis, but they can become an ag cop. They're like, oh, I'm gonna get this grower. I'm gonna get this person. They're spraying pesticides and they didn't sign their name on their paper. I'm gonna find them. Like, dude, just because you didn't sign your name on a paper, or you didn't check this one box, you don't need to get in trouble. You don't need to get fined. Educate them. Be that person that educates the person so that they come into compliance and they can just move on and produce amazing commodities that we do in California. And me helping influence that, and I have to shout out to my boss, the Ag Commissioner in Tulare County. He was an amazing role model, and he still is, to show me that balance. show me that, hey, we can be there as an advocate. We can be there to promote agriculture. Well, yeah, we still want to make sure we protect it. We still want to make sure people are healthy, safe, doing things right per the law and the regulations. But we can also there to be there to educate them and help them along the way, because if we aren't doing it, who's doing it?
Yeah.
And so that is back to round out that long-winded question. That's when I found out, like, I really love my job. Like, I really like it. I really love that. What do we do? We can help people. Yeah, sometimes we are viewed as the a-holes and the people that we don't want to deal with because we're regulatory and we make up all these laws, and, you know, we work with the California Department of Pesticide Regulations that has millions of laws, or EPA or whatnot, but we can still make a difference, and that difference outweighs the negative.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. And I want to touch bases on what you said about them being an ag cop. I just not sure if you're aware, but I work for a pest control company.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So I'm constantly looking over my shoulder to see if there's a fucking whatever you said, ag cop or supposedly it's like an inspector or something. So
Yeah, it's
they
same
come to-
office, same office. Yeah.
bro. So I'm just like I'm constantly just looking over my shoulder, bro. Because I mean, I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go. You know what I mean? It's like you know, there's always shortcuts.
Got your gloves in the truck.
Yeah, bro. Or the face
your
mask.
respirator.
Yeah, dude. So it's like, so again, if you're an ag cop or something, man, just hey, just tell me or show me how to do it. Don't fucking find me, man.
Good thing is he's in Tulare County, so
Yeah, I'm Tulare. I mean, I do know Rusty, which Rusty Lansberg is the ag commissioner in Madera County, but.
Fuck. All right.
No, I know. Actually,
some
I know
people.
all the ag commissioners because
Such
we're
a
part.
snitch. Such a snitch.
But I want to compliment you on your passing your branch 2 and branch 3.
Thanks, man.
I heard that, and that's actually very admirable because a lot of people struggle with that.
I at the place that I'm at, I'm not trying to throw him under the bus and stuff, but he's been there for a few months, and I'm like, dude, he still can't pass it, and I'm like. Then again, they went a different way about it. Instead of like, I was in the freaking office just studying for like four weeks straight. This guy, they let him study for a week, and then they put him out in the field. Oh, hey, he'll learn that way. But I'm like, no, dude, you got to put your head in the book, man. So, but yeah, it was tough, man. I don't want to hear anything about cockroaches and ants or anything, dude. I'm just like, I'm done, dude. It's like I just see him in my house. I'm like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like I know I got all the stuff in my truck, dude, but I'm like, I don't want to deal with that shit, dude.
Funny story. Slightly to that, we have a maintenance gardeners, landscapers, yard guys. Same realm in that sense. Structural people, structural pest control business. They have to register. They have to have licenses. Same with landscape maintenance gardeners. They have to have licenses if they spray people's houses and do all that stuff and whatnot. And my wife, not being really in the ag field, she's like, "Oh, can you have our guy spray?" And I'm like, "Technically, no. Like, he's a great guy and everything, but I don't think he's licensed by any means. But he doesn't. What I don't know is he doesn't spray my house, so he doesn't need to be licensed because he doesn't spray applications. So I told him one time, I'm like, hey, just be mindful, like, if you ever spray something, like, you have to have a license and all that stuff. And no matter if, like, my wife has asked him to spray weed, he's never, because I think he's afraid he's going to get caught. Damn, so it kind of goes back to the thing, like, you're always looking in the back. And he's a great guy. And we have now, in our new house, we have artificial grass. So there's really nothing like the spray. But, like, I think, like, I think I scared him into not spraying anyone's house. Bro, because he doesn't have his.
He straight up told you, though? He doesn't have his applicators?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've searched him.
You've searched him?
I've searched him just because he is my maintenance gardener, so I wanted to make sure, because if he was registered, I'd be like, yeah, heck, there is some, every once in a while, some weeds popping in the grass. I want you to spray them. I don't want to pull them. That's what I pay you for. But
he's not wrong.
But he's not. So he and I've never witnessed, knock on wood, I've never witnessed him spray any chemicals in my house, and so as of right now, he's all good.
So let's be real though. Like, if you did see it, you would say something.
I probably would say something like, "Hey, you really," and I'd probably help him. I'd be like, "Hey, you can come to our office, take the exam, do this, or here's the paperwork." I would help him. He's an amazing guy. He does my parents or my in-laws' house too. Which, again, I just close my eyes. I don't know what he does in my in-laws' house. It's not my business, but
it's crazy, dude.
Christopher's gonna get me.
Yeah. Felix, if you're listening, I don't think you're listening, Felix, but in case you are, I'll help you out get your QIC.
So with that point, do you guys go around and look like, oh, there's a gardener here cutting this guy's lawn? Do you guys stop and like ask him?
So
Or so like if he's spraying, you guys stop?
Yeah. So overall our four in Tulare County, our four main divisions that we have are pesticide use enforcement, weights and measures, pest detection, crop management, pest detection, pest management, crop statistics, and pest exclusion. And so, if anyone wants to fall asleep, this is the time to talk about it. To fall asleep, pesticide use enforcement is many of what Danny doesn't like, or add what you mentioned, like our staff, because they're the ones out there making sure that people are using pesticides correctly. Unfortunately, there's a lot of laws and regulations regarding pesticides. The label is a law, and the label has a lot of stuff on it, and we live in the valley, so it's hot. Who wants to wear a full respirator with full coveralls, gloves, socks, shoes, everything, and inside an enclosed cab, and then apply pesticides? It's a lot. But as we try to continue with this, the research is scientifically based, and that's why it is shown that scientifically based, you should do all those things if you're going to use those chemicals.
Yeah, but it's not fun, dude.
It's not fun. No. And I can imagine. And we even have to do too. Like we spray we spray evasive weeds up in the foothills called Scotch thistle, or even in the canals called alligator weed, and even like some tumbleweeds in our empty lot that we next to them. And our pesticide inspectors will go inspect our own staff doing those applications to make sure they're following, because we don't want to be hypocrites.
Yeah, we got to lead by example.
Yeah.
So you guys send out your staff to spray things?
Yeah. So that's part of our pest detection management, crop statistics. So there's so many invasive weeds. Like I said, Scotch thistle. It kind of looks like an artichoke plant. It's up in the foothills. It will grow like 6 feet tall and like hundreds of feet long, and it will just suffocate the rangeland and the grass there. And so when cattle are out there grazing, it just takes away grazing land.
Oh, sure.
Or like alligator weed is like this little bubble weed, and like even if you break one little piece off, that will float down and then start a whole nother.
It's like and shit.
It's like what we call splurge. You know, splurge, the little like weedy stuff in your area. That's what it's like. Splurge. One little thing will just go, and it's like worse than beavers. It will clog up a whole dam or a reservoir with just all this like green waste and like block waterways. And so you go and you have to kill it. So
that gets me curious. So how does somebody do people call you guys and say, hey, I found this alligator weed, like, can you guys come get it? Or are you guys actively looking for these weeds in the foothills?
We're actively looking. So we have a couple staff that go up in quads in the foothills in Tulare County and go out and search for those and spray them.
That sounds cool. That sounds fun.
Yeah, sure. I did it for like a couple years, and I hated it.
Oh, no way.
Because I feel like it's not as a productive job. Like it's a little bit like very like, oh cool, let's just drive around. But maybe it's my personality type. I'm like, I want to get things done and completed, and it's never going to be completed because there's tens of thousands of foothills, and so you never like find it. And so in my mind,
it's never ending.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And I didn't grow up doing quads, and so that was probably the first time I ever drove a quad was at my job. Yeah. And I was like, this is not that fun. And like I've told like my brother-in-laws and whatnot, they're like, that'd be a badass job. I'm like, sure. Like but yeah, we do that, or even in just spraying the alligator weeds along the canals.
See, I would have fun. But then I understand what you mean by I'm the type of person that I need a list. Like if I have 9 stops, dude, okay, hey, I'm boom, 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 boom.
You're
I
done.
can't just, I'm looking for a finish line, you know? Dude, if you're looking for, hey, I didn't find any today, it's like, what'd you do?
Yeah, you felt so unproductive.
And then you got to go home and tell your kid, I'm home from work. I'm so tired. You didn't do shit, bro.
And this is like in May. So it's like May in the foothills and it's hot. And then you have the exhaust, and then you're spraying your long sleeves and pants and socks because That's
Yeah,
the
it's
PPE
required.
that you have to wear. Yeah. And so, and then half times like we've like fell because like we go through the fire lanes. Like, some of these foothills are steep, and then you have like a, I don't know, 50 or 100-gallon tank of herbicide behind you. And so you're going up a steep fire lane hill. And if you don't have to like get on your heels and forward, put your body over it, your 100-gallon tank behind you is going to flip you over. Dude. And we had this little guy, he was a supervisor. He was only like 5 foot tall. He flipped it all the way down. Luckily he wasn't hurt anything, but like, so it's not like that fun, I mean, some people may think it's fun, but
yeah, so flip quads.
Yeah. Right. But we also go up there for the cattle scales too. So we have our weights and measures division that does all the commercial scales, devices, any kind of commercial device in the county, gas pumps, your grocery scales, your Target scales. But they also do like the livestock scales. 'Cause a lot of people sell all their cattle up in the rangeland per hundredweight. And so they have to have those certified scales. And so they'll go up there too. And like we have this it was like 1999 or maybe 2000 Toyota Tacoma that people have asked like to pay like tens of $1,000s for it because Toyotas like last forever. But it's like perfectly narrow that goes up the fire lane. And we go up there in the back country of the parts of the foothills in Tulare County and test those cow scales.
Ooh.
Do you guys go by surprise?
No, those are scheduled.
Those are all scheduled.
Those are all scheduled.
Is there any that are like a surprise? Like, will you guys just land there, like gas stations or
on
grocery?
Complaint basis.
Complaint basis.
So per the Business and Professions Code, everyone has to register, and we do annual inspections to certify, and we certify it when we go there that it's certified accurately. If it's not, then we either yellow tag it. Yellow tags usually mean that it's benefiting the customer. If it's a red tag, usually mean it's benefiting the business. Yeah. And red tag means you can't use it at all. And yellow tag means you need to fix it soon. But yeah, complaint basis, we have complaint basis all the time. Hey, because a gas pump is a device. It's a computer in that sense. So sometimes the gas pumps, you go and pull the lever and nothing comes out. Or it skips. Yeah. Or, it comes out and even it pours out. Luckily, not all of us are like that. It just pours out and the money's not going. It doesn't happen that often. But, it's a computer. It's a device. And so we have to make sure that's accurate.
So now, can customers, store owners, can they kind of like make the price in their favor? Have you seen that before? Or
Yeah. Yeah, no, they definitely can. So it depends. Some gas stations are corporate owned. And so corporate changes the gas pumps on the signs and the gas pump, but sometimes it's the actual owner of the station, and they'll change on the outside stand and say like 10 cents less, but air quote, forget to change it on the pump. And so everyone's coming, this is 10 cents, 20 cents cheaper. They come in, they put gas in, it really isn't.
Bro, that's so true. Because you're right. I look at the sign. I never pull up and look at what I'm actually
on the little screen.
Because sometimes it's not connected. And some, in a perfect world, not saying anyone does it intentionally, but they possibly could.
Yeah. Dude, working at Red Bull and kind of dealing with hello, come again. Yeah. It's just, bro, it's dude, they are out to get every single penny that they can, man. So it's just like, I don't put it past them,
Yep.
So especially during COVID, you heard all these, store gouging things. And where was it? It was all these, Indian people. No offense to, my Indian listeners, but damn, dude, chill. But yeah, it is pretty crazy. Now that you're kind of saying that, I'm like, hey, they can rig that. That's crazy, man. But man, it's just there's a lot of different. I mean, it's all in your department, but it just seems like, dude, weights and measures, and then you can actually go do the ag cop thing, and then it's crazy.
And then there's one more that I kind of want to bring up, Tulare Lake.
Oh,
dude. You were heavily involved in the Tulare Lake deal, I guess. Yeah. And some of us that don't know what Tulare Lake is, you really gonna do that?
I gotta go. I'm sorry, guys.
He's about to make his own Tulare Lake right now.
Wow, he's really. He warned us about this.
He did.
And knowing him, I know he really has to go pee.
Well, dude, he was just like, I need to go.
He's like, you guys. Okay. He wanted to cut it short like 20 minutes ago.
Hey, you know what I want to ask him though? I want to ask him what orange is better, because everyone always talks about Florida oranges, bro. What is it? Florida's natural, or Simply Orange?
The Donald Duck one?
Yeah, that one too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or
I don't know if he's tried any Florida oranges.
I don't know, man.
I'm just gonna say no. I don't like Florida oranges.
I
Florida. I do know that there's like this little, I guess I'll say bug. It has a weird name, and I can't. And I'm sorry to all my ag friends out there that I can't pronounce that Asian fillet, whatever. But I think it was devastating Florida ag, Florida
they got hit
citrus. Yeah. So
not only is it they have to deal with hurricanes and stuff, but they got to deal with
that thing,
bugs too.
Yeah,
Holy shit!
Welcome back, man. You didn't even wash your hands, dude.
I did.
You didn't. You did not.
Yes, I did. I promise.
Well, first time for everything.
Danny, smell his hands. No, I'm just kidding.
Funny story. My aunt used to do that. It's horrible. Yeah.
Your aunt does that?
Oh, my aunt used to do it when I was little. Like go to the bathroom.
You gotta make sure.
My hands, make sure. Yeah.
She would do that Christopher, and she would go.
Yeah. She'd be like, "Make my hands. Go wash your hands."
Yeah. Wait till you have kids, dude. They're like, I brush my teeth. I'm like, let me smell.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll be right back. I'm like, I knew it.
So you had a question. Do you want to do the question, or do you want to do Tulare Lake?
Oh no,
I'm
Tulare
good
Lake.
both.
No, Tulare Lake.
We're gonna do both. What first?
So Tulare Lake. So majority of it is in Kings County, but
Not Tulare.
Not Tulare. Yeah, it's a good.
What the hell?
The lake basin is in Kings County, but it's called Tulare Lake, Tule Lake. So many decades ago, not even century, but decades ago, it was full.
Wait, is that called Tulare Lake too?
Yeah, Tulare Lake, Tule's.
Is it? Remember where?
No, yeah, I heard you guys talk about that too.
Dude, holy shit! That's why I was like,
Yeah.
wait, Tule Lake. Holy crap!
So I don't. Maybe like back in the day, it was called Tule Lake, but like it's actually Tulare Lake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that might be something different. I thought about that
I'm gonna
too.
look that up too. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
So back in the day, like all the lake basin, that's what a lot of people came through because it was a lake and it was a waterway and whatnot. And so the waterway goes there. Anyway, long story long, it flooded. The floods really just increased over the canals, the waterways, and just like broke the any kind of like canal beds, and so it just flooded. And it was pretty catastrophic for that, I guess, southwest part of Tulare and Kings County because it just flooded all these areas, and it's still there. They've had their own issues too. They've had like bird botulism, because there's been like dead because it's not a flowing waterway. It's just like
there, right?
a big lake basin that's still water's not going in, and it's just kind of stagnant. And so it's kind of unfortunate. We dealt with it because another thing, one of the facets of the commissioner's office is we are charged with emergency declarations. And so whenever there's a crop loss, and this was a crop loss because it really affected a lot of dairies and a lot of, there was pistachio fields and orchards just flooded. We deal with emergency declarations. So once we hear there is a issue with a crop, commodity, whatnot, we put out information. The growers tell us back. We submit to California Office of Emergency Services, Cal OES, and be like, hey, in Tulare County, there was a flood. Or there is increased heat and it wiped out all the table grapes. They burnt and they all sunburned, or there was a citrus freeze and it wiped out all the citrus during the freeze. And we can get into that with freeze cutting too. We cut for freeze and make sure it's not frozen oranges. But it's a whole nother podcast. But we submit that, and then the director, which is currently Cal US Nancy Ward, she looks at that and she determines if that disaster declaration needs to be sent to the Secretary of Agriculture as a secretarial disaster declaration, or it needs to be sent to the governor or to the federal government, which is the President Biden. And with the floods, the floods were determined to be a federal disaster, and so President Biden declared a presidential declaration for the California floods. And so what that does is open up FEMA, opens up a lot of different avenues of resources and assistance. Trust, it still is it's kind of a sensitive topic when it comes to the floods, because a lot of the dairymen were very proactive in helping others, helping with the floods. reducing the damage there. And so when you look at governmental disaster relief and whatnot, preventative measures are not really covered for assistance.
Oh,
You have to actually be destroyed. So it sounds stupid, and not saying this is positive or negative in any way, but you would think that it would have been better just to get all your whole dairy wiped out, then you can get assistance versus spending all this money to protect it and not getting wiped out and then not getting any assistance.
Damn, dude, that's crazy.
So that was kind of a not so great time in my job in the sense because like you couldn't help people.
Yeah.
Like I tried my best to help with reporting, but there wasn't really much my office could do in that sense. And so you kind of felt useless when it comes to the floods.
So
thanks for bringing up that sore subject.
I'm about to dig a little deeper, bro. But so what classifies them being able to get help? Is it a dollar amount? Like, hey, sorry, there wasn't enough damage. Like,
Yep.
if you wouldn't have put up those sandbags, that ball would have caved in on your guys' apartment or your wall or whatever. But hey, now you can't get the assistance.
No, that's definitely when it comes to just general commodities, I think it's like you can't quote me, but like 20% of the economic value. So that's as I mentioned, I talk a lot about statistics. We are per statute, every county have to create a crop report, and so we are the foundation of that crop report. So in essence, we know what that economic value is, that gross production in our county. So if like the value of damage is at 20% of what we reported that year, then give or take, then it doesn't declare a disaster. When it comes to the floods, there was a lot of different metrics. So like there was NCRS. What are they? NCRS, right, Danny? I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
The guy spoke in Sacramento. You should know. NCRS, I think that's like Natural Resource Conservation Service and RCS. Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
you beat me to it.
Thanks. There's FEMA. There's a lot of different avenues, and so they have all different programs. And then the programs like there was like a rebuild program, so you had to have like so much of your farm or dairy destroyed, and they would assist in rebuilding it. And so it's not like black and white. And so that's another frustrating part too, especially working for government. Like you start realizing there is unfortunately bureaucracy in the governmental system, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating for the working man. It's frustrating for the business owner, for the agriculture industry, because sometimes it feels like they just keep getting crapped on, and there's not anything to help them. And so that was kind of the feeling I felt like, and not at the local level. I think our Tulare County and even portions of California really did help as much as they possibly could. But it was just kind of the bigger picture, FEMA and whatnot. Like there were so many different, it felt like you had to jump through hurdles to get help. And that was the frustrating part.
It's kind of what you hear every time there's like a big natural disaster though. So, I mean, it's nothing new, I guess. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, I hate to say that, but anyway. So hey, I had a question for you.
Yep.
We were talking about citrus and whatnot. I actually got two questions for you, but so
this is gonna be like a 3-hour podcast, right?
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
You got to drive back too.
No, I don't care. You're good. I have no time limit. You're fine.
Well, no, dude. You make your girl drive every day. Come on, dude. You could do it once, dude.
She'll be asleep. She's probably already asleep. You're good.
What's it called? So, when it comes to oranges, man. Would you say that Tulare County's up there when it comes to the flavor, like profile wise, or do you think Florida's known for their shit too? So which one's you're the number one biggest exporter, but does it taste good though?
Oh, that's actually a really good question. It actually falls into another category of what we do, pest detection. So there's this little tiny bug called Asian citrus psyllid.
Yes.
It's like the size of a pinprick. It's this little bastard. Came from the Asia countries. Do you remember? You're around. I'm older than you guys, but you guys are.
Dude, it just happened we remember coronavirus, dude.
No, it wasn't coronavirus. Oh. Wasn't corona. I was talking about remember Donald Duck orange juice?
Yeah, dude.
I have a horrible laugh. That made me laugh. Good job, man.
Disney guy, dude.
I have a Mickey tattoo.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Hiya, folks. Oh, dude, I didn't know you had a tattoo, bro. That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Even though he had a tattoo, he's covered him.
Yeah.
No, like a Mickey. That's
Oh,
just buried.
we got that in Hawaii. It's all burned down now. There's in Lahaina where all the fires went.
Oh, that was there? It's not there anymore.
It's not there. I think and pretty much it was right there on the beach. And I think it burned. Anyway, sidebar.
R.I.P.
Back to ACP, Asian citrus psyllid. So this little bastard came from Asia country, hit Florida back in late 2000s, early 2000s, wiped out Florida citrus.
Oh,
It carries this disease called Huanglongbing, HLB.
I feel like you made that up.
No, it's called citrus green disease. Look at I can probably spell Huanglongbing. It pretty much they eat on the leaves and they like suck the phylum. Thank you.
Phylum?
And like it's in their digestive tract, and they kind of spit it out when they're eating. And it's asystematic, and so it can only affect like certain parts of the trees at one time, and it pretty much just is called citrus greening. So it pretty much just like sucks the life out of the tree and makes the citrus like hard and green and not developed and sour. And pretty much Florida used to be the leading country, and I mentioned Donald Duck because growing up, like Florida orange juice, that was the shit.
Yeah.
Florida orange juice is the thing, but now you don't really hear about it, right?
No, you don't.
Because it's not. Because they still have HLB. They have yet to recover from it. And we unfortunately have it in California. It was found in Hacienda Heights down in LA. That was the first find of it.
And it was found where? Hacienda Heights, but where?
Like in someone's backyard.
Oh, shit.
Someone's backyard. It was probably their great-grandfather's citrus tree or whatnot. Probably came from a relative in Florida. I don't know exactly.
Is this why they go around tagging other people's shit in their backyard?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Because you just
100%.
never know. It could end up at somebody else's. Oh, crap. Okay.
Yep. And so they've had to remove so many trees in people's backyard in Garden Grove, Hacienda Heights, LA, like around Anaheim, Disneyland. They've had not to get too much on Disney spill, but but like all that area, and it's residential. It's not really in commercial. It's residential. It's people bringing in plants and fruit and other stuff from other different areas and countries and states. And so, with that said, we have it, and we work really hard to prevent it from Tulare County because again, Tulare County is such a high producing citrus and county. Back on that, maybe if other Florida or other places didn't have ACP and other stuff, then maybe we wouldn't be top in the quality and production and stuff. But I feel like we are.
Yeah.
We have the cuties. There's wonderful citrus. There was Wona. There was some Pacific that had the cuties, the mandarins, the tangos. We have those. I don't think that those aren't the best eating because they're more mass produced rather than like a golden nugget, which is a really good eating that looks just like the cutie, but like a little uglier. Like cosmetically, it looks ugly, but it tastes 100 times better.
Oh, fuck. What's it called?
Golden nugget.
Golden nugget.
Yeah.
Easy peel?
Easy peel. It's easy peel. It's just kind of like blobby looking, and like the skin's a little bit more detached. It's not as like tight skinned.
Okay. It's easy to peel.
I feel like I'm like talking dirty. But like it's not as tight skin, it's loose. But
Bro, we said
just
PG-13.
PG-13 is right. But like it's not as it's just different than like a cutie. But there's that. But then there's caracaras. Caracaras are the red, the pinkish ones, not a blood orange, but like pink inside.
Oh, yeah.
Those are good.
Still sounds dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, pink is still pink inside.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So I think those are the best. I mean, I really think we have some really amazing growers and producers in Tulare County. I mean, even Kern County is a lot of, they're more grapes per se, but they have a really heavy citrus too, and they're great growers. A lot of the citrus that we pack in Tulare County comes from Kern County because we have so many packing houses. We have the largest amount of packing houses, as I mentioned. So a lot of it come here. Fresno has a good citrus growers. They also come to Tulare County to pack too. So
You didn't mention Madera. That's what a jerk.
I don't know if they don't have that much citrus, do they?
Not a lot.
Hey, you guys have more tree nut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Figs, right? Do you guys have figs?
We do have figs, yeah.
I saw in the newspaper, actually, the fig grower in Madera County. I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
they-
look at Madera's doing something.
They were talking about how they want to liberate the fig from the Newton.
Oh wow.
And that's I think I quoted the CEO, but
Of the Fig Association.
yeah, I think I did. Yeah,
They're about to fucking go broke, bro. Because
Yeah.
what else you got?
Have you ever ate a fig?
Yes, yeah,
like-
it's
like
good.
bit.
It is good.
I used to have to pick them for my grandparents. They had 3 fig trees
trees.
in their backyard. And I used to have like the white sap all over me. I
Oh,
hated
yeah.
it. But they used to go and they used to like peel it and eat it with a glass of milk.
Oh,
I've heard of that.
And I was like, 5 years old, and I was like, that's sick. But but now growing up, like I can down a whole box of fig Newtons if I need to.
Yeah.
Which I mean, fig Newtons have a lot of sugar, but like I could probably down some figs.
Yeah. Shout out to the fig harvest guys because that white sap.
Oh, it's miserable. I
It
can
is
imagine.
miserable. Have you ever?
I mean, the tree that my parents used to have a while back, but I mean, that's the only time I've ever had figs and stuff. You know what I mean?
Is it black fig or green fig?
No, black. No, they're black. Yeah, they're black.
Am I crazy?
Yeah, black. Yeah.
Yeah.
So figs.
So wait, black and green still white sap?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. You sure it's white sap?
It's the I was gonna say non-denominational, but that's not the right.
So, anyways, California citrus is
Yeah.
We'll say it's better than
Yeah. And so we're actually the hub. There's many people don't know there's industry groups for all of these commodities. So like citrus is California Citrus Mutual. There's actually, I don't know what they're called at the federal level. It's not federal because it's its own entity, but there's like United States Citrus Mutual. So each state has like a Citrus Mutual. There's like the Almond Board. There's Almond Alliance. There's the Apple
American Pistachio Growers.
American Pistachio Growers. There's the Fig Association. There's the Apple. It's not Apple Compliance, but there's the Table Grape Association. There's the California Fresh Fruit Association. There's all these industry groups and trade associations that work hard. There's WAPA, Western Agricultural Process Association. Shout out Cruz McLaughlin. And CCG, California Cotton Growers
and Ginners Association.
and Jenner Association. Thank you. Good job, Danny. You're a better friend than I am. So there's a lot of associations that really work hard to make sure that the laws and regulations are not constricting the growers and their products are really being prominent. And that's why California is so great. Even though California has many issues on other realm, when it comes to agriculture, we are the leaders, and we should be very proud of it.
Oh man, I think it's a. I don't know. I think you spoke very well, very detailed when it came to everything that you do, dude. Honestly, your title, what was it again?
I said,
It's a mouthful, dude.
so I didn't even talk about this. So California, maybe I'll go a little longer. California is actually the only state that has ag commissioner system. So every other state in the United States have just a state Department of Agriculture and then the federal government, USDA. California specific is that all 58 counties in California either have an agriculture commissioner sealer or they contract because, like Pluma Sierra, they're both together. They have one. Inyo counties have one. They contracted, but they each county has an agriculture commissioner and sealers in that, and they actually used to be separate. Ag commissioner and a sealer of waste and measure used to be two separate positions, and they merged over the years.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. And he didn't yawn. It wasn't yawn, guys. But they merged over years, and so we're very specific in that role, and we're able to do that local enforcement, local lobbying. Like I said, we have CACASA. This is the California Ag Commissioner Association, where we lobby at the state and federal level to make sure that the laws and regulations are not restricting growers; they're still promoting them, but also still protecting people in the environment. And so California really plays an active role in agriculture.
Okay. Now, when it comes to like for you, what's next? What's the next like opportunity if it did arise? Would it be the not the assistant? It would actually be the deputy commissioner?
No, it'd be the deputy's actually below me. So
my bad.
It's okay, you're good. A lot of people call me deputy.
So it'd be just commissioner, right?
It'd be commissioner. Well, actually, a lot of my friends call me junior ag commissioner, and a lot of people call me junior ag commissioner, which is it's a dig at me. But yeah.
So pretty much you're next though. If people are like, oh, dude, holy shit. So
yeah. So my commissioner, he's great. I'm not in any rush for him to retire, but he probably has a couple years left. He's a citrus grower himself, so he's an amazing guy. A lot to learn. He's a great mentor. But yeah, that would be my next step. And so I have all my what we call papers. I have my ag commissioner and I have my sealer license. So I am qualified. It is a appointed position, so it's not elected. Thank God. I don't know if I could do the whole elected realm and everything like that, but it's appointed. So I would be appointed by the board of supervisors of Tulare County and the county administrative officer if they felt like I was qualified for the position. And so, yeah, that would be my next step.
So if another person applies at the same time, you would have to go for get like an election, pretty much, or
no, it's just gonna be interview. It'd be interview.
Okay.
Interview. I mean, we're at will, so it is kind of like a salary at will position. But unfortunately, there's not many people. Maybe it's fortunately, I don't know if I want to say that, but unfortunately, there's not that many people that have their ag commissioner and sealer license. So it's actually in regulation. You have to be a licensed agricultural commissioner and or sealer. So you have to be that to do the position, but also to enforce the laws and regulations. So if you don't have your license per CDFA, you can't enforce those laws. You can't write administrative civil penalties to fine people if they're doing things wrong. You can't enforce their laws. So it's really important to have those licenses. And probably, I mean, this is a random number. There's 58 counties. Maybe there's 75 people that have their license, including those that in job right now. So there's really not that many. So we really, really push staff to get them because they're statewide licenses. So if I really want to, if there was a job offer in Mendocino County or Los Angeles County or San Diego County, and for a commission, I could go move there and I would be qualified. Maybe I would be a learning curve for that county and not understanding what they do in that county, but I would be qualified on paper, and that's good, probably 80% of it. And I can learn their agriculture, I can learn their growers. County government is pretty understanding, so I would just know the county government. I deal with our budget now. I deal with department heads. I deal with industry. So just learning that is not that much of the battle.
Cool. You got anything, man?
No, I think the last thing I want to ask is do you have questions for us? I mean, heard about you, but do you have questions for Ed?
Oh gosh. Well, I don't know. That's kind of hard. What do you think that you learn most? Have you ever heard of that commissioner system? I know, Ed, you're not in much agriculture.
Okay, so I was literally going to say a question right now, but I was going to wait till you asked me. But okay, so the only thing I know about ag commissioner, bro, have you ever seen Yellowstone? I think he's at the I believe he's got that position, right? Isn't he?
Okay. So is he like the State Department of Agriculture?
Yes. It's in Montana.
Yes.
Okay. So I think he's the
commissioner of ag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
For the state.
Oh, for the state, not for the county. That's why I was asking if there's an election.
No,
I was like, because he got elected in. I was like, oh, why is it different in a different
so
state?
a lot of people call the board of supervisors in other states the commissioner.
Oh.
So if you want to be I want to be a county commissioner, that's like a county board supervisor in California.
Oh, okay.
But hey, actually, funny story in Montana. I have friends in Montana from Real Montana, our ag leadership program. We met them. If you guys are listening to that, and I follow them on Instagram and Facebook, shout out to me to Real Montana Class 5 and see if
they're Class 5.
I think they're Class 5. Shame on me if they weren't Class 5. But I mean, we were Class 52. Yeah. But they're Class 5. If not, I'll reach out to them and be like, hey, Yellowstone, I know you guys seen it because you live in Montana. If you haven't, shame on you. Yeah. But what was he? Was it Kevin Costner, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I hear that? I don't know if this is true. Don't quote me, but they hate the show Yellowstone.
Oh, Montana?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about that too?
I mean, do we hate the show OC?
I do.
I mean,
I've never watched it.
Yeah,
I've never seen it. I just know the fucking.
You've never seen it. Don't lie.
But I swear to God, I've never seen it. I swear to God, I've never seen it. It was before my time, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like
I watch. If you come on the pod show, if you come on the podcast, they'll call you old because I did watch OC.
I never watched the OC.
I watched Baywatch.
Yeah,
I watched Baywatch.
Baywatch. When I was
Wait, it's all California, all beaches?
No.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Is all Yellowstone? Is all Montana Yellowstone?
Yes.
Brutality.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that.
What's it called? No. Right now you were talking about just showing your age and whatnot.
Yeah.
How old are you?
37.
37.
Damn. No, I'm
Thanks,
kidding.
Mom. Yeah. So yeah, I started at 23. I started May 9th, 2011. Was my start date, and then I turned 24 just a couple months after. But yeah, I would have never thought I would have stayed 13 years at a job, because before that, I was talking about retail management. You got to move around.
Yeah.
I had started at my very first job was actually at a feed store. I was 15. I got my worker's permit. I worked at a feed store, which is pretty cool. But then I worked at Izod. You remember Izod?
Yeah, the clothing store,
The golf
or the
store.
shoes.
Yeah, the golf store.
Yeah.
I worked at Izod at the Outlet Mall, and then I worked at it's part of Phillips Van Heusen. I went to Bass, or I went to Calvin Klein. I opened actually the store in Pismo, Calvin Klein in Pismo. Opened that store, and did that, and then I moved to American Eagle, and that was fun. Worked there a couple of years, and then worked.
You didn't do Hollister, like lifting up your shirt and shit?
No, I was never.
You look like
thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. I think it's a very nice compliment.
I was like, bro, I think I've seen you at the mall standing outside, bro. But I was like,
Does not have a six pack.
I was like,
No,
bro, you're
no six pack.
You're talking to the wrong guy, bro. Husky. They don't have a husky in there. Dude.
No, Danny's been my roommate. He knows I don't have a six pack. Awkward.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. But then I worked at Vans for a very short time. I'm not really a Vans guy, but that was cool. I opened a lot of stores, Vans, and then ended at Banana Republic before I got this job. So, yeah, I never thought I'd be here. Like I said, I've had my moments where I thought, I'll do something else. I'll go in sales or go into finance or whatnot. But all in all, after 13 years, I love the county. I love Tulare County. I'm very proud of being at Tulare County. I love my job. I love my staff. Sometimes they're a little difficult. Sometimes it's really rewarding to see, to hear the compliments that I get from industry and other people about how well my staff is. So definitely good and bad, but that comes with everything, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very happy. Very happy.
No, dude, I think that's cool. I mean, to kind of find yourself within that time, and then you found yourself within, 13 years of just doing what you love, bro. I mean, I don't know how many people can say that, so
Yeah.
Congrats, man. I'm glad you found your calling, dude.
Thanks.
But Danny, what do you got for us? That's it.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to say, send him off with love, dude. This is your boy right here, dude.
No, all I gotta say is that if you didn't go into the ag field, we probably would have never met.
Oh, that's true.
So
That's true.
thankfully, because of ag, we, got to know each other in the program, in the California Ag Leadership Foundation program, which, you were my first friend there.
Yeah.
So yeah, just thankful because of ag that we know each other and we're really good friends. So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking your time out of your day. Thank you, Micah, for allowing him to come on.
Damn, that's true.
We really enjoyed you being here. We really wanted this podcast to be, about different jobs out there and this was perfect. You're in a job that not a lot of people know. I mean, there's 70 something people like ag commissioners out there, or not ag commissioners, but that have licenses. So there's not many of you out there.
There's we actually do statistics, so that we put out there for pesticide use and whatnot. There's actually over 500 inspectors in the state of California that enforce the laws and regulations regarding all the stuff we do.
Damn.
So it's pretty crazy. And some counties only have like an ag commissioner, a deputy, and like one inspector.
Oh, because it's so small.
Because it's so small. We are lucky. We have 67 full-time staff, and then about another 15 or so extra help. So
God damn. Holy shit.
then there's like LA County that has like 100 or something. Fresno County actually has over 100 too. So.
I was gonna say, and LA is probably still behind though too. Shit.
Yeah.
All those people that they got.
They don't much ag. They do a lot of waste measures. But,
Okay.
That's a whole beast of a county too.
I bet. Yeah. Well, hey man, thank you for coming. I really do appreciate it. It was nice to kind of just get away for whatever you had going on for that hour and a half, and just relax and enjoy and answer our questions. So I appreciate you taking the time, man. And guys, everyone, thank you for listening to the podcast. again, if you guys could rate the podcast, whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening to your podcast, hey, give us 5 stars if you guys like it. And if you guys have any suggestions or any questions on, actually, you know what we need to do? We need to like maybe send up our lineup so people ask questions about like our future guests.
Yeah, good point. We will do that. We'll catch us on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, so we're still. This is a learning curve for us. We're trying to still get the ball rolling with all this, but
Any new countries?
any new country? No new countries.
No new countries.
So far, it's still Canada. What's Trinidad and Tobago and Israel. Israel. So
Damn it.
I don't know how
Can
we
you tell
feel
who
about-
listens?
Yeah, dude.
No
Yeah.
way. Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But you know what? Also, what I did Google was the fact that somebody could be using a
Bot.
no. What's that thing that they use to pinpoint their access somewhere else?
Oh, yes.
VPN.
VPN.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So they could say like, "Hey, I'm in Russia right now," and they stream it through over there. It's So we might not even have any
Fake.
fucking I know.
Fake.
That dude just probably is watching, naughty stuff.
Yeah.
And he's probably in one of those states that he can't fucking watch it or whatever.
Yeah.
Texas?
Texas.
Is it Texas?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I do not. No way. That sucks. If I remember somebody was telling me they're opening a store.
Probably like Iowa or something.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that, dude.
Sorry for the
Oh.
Iowa.
By the way, remember the other day I told you that New Mexico wasn't real?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's going to New Mexico.
Oh.
New Mexico's not a real state.
Well, I was telling Ed that, and I think Ed thought too much into this, but I was like, I've never met anybody from New Mexico.
Like, hey, buddy, how are you? Where are you from?
New Mexico?
La Cruces.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I was about to say.
I'm
like,
going to La Cruces.
Dude, are you really? Isn't that Breaking Bad, right? Isn't that where?
I didn't watch that
Albuquerque.
either.
Albuquerque.
Actually,
Albuquerque,
I'm
New
flying
Mexico.
into El Paso. Do you know
Oh,
El
yes,
Paso is
yes.
like
Oh.
5 minutes from like the Mexican border?
Yeah, so I went to cover a pilot in in El Paso. Damn it, it's
Was there like a Diet Coke shortage that you had to refill the fridge or what?
what?
Did you have to go restock the Cokes? Did they run out of something?
I mean, what do you have to cover for?
They ran out of co-managers or managers. I went there.
He's running the store. I got it.
I
though.
thought it was funny.
Yeah, whatever. But anyways, I went there and I worked at it was like a little El Paso store, but people lived in Las Cruces.
Yeah.
So they just drove there, and I was
Really?
like, "What?" So they worked in a different state, and I thought that was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
get-
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The taxes sound like I don't even want to deal doing my
Wait,
taxes with.
so-
yeah, right. Where
so-
you working there and you have
Yeah.
to-
So now that I'm an idiot because I said I've never met anybody from New
you
Mexico.
did meet somebody from New Mexico.
And I have.
I don't know if I trust you now.
But
All
anyways,
these lies.
there's 2 pilots there. So
Okay.
you said you wanted to stop at a pilot.
Okay, maybe I'll
you
stop
got
there.
2 pilots there.
Dude, well, technically you have one on the way out. It's an easy trip, but it's a
That's the
knockoff.
one I almost stopped at.
It's a
Yeah.
knockoff.
I thought
pilot.
is that the pilot you guys worked at?
No, we worked.
Oh,
at the
you
one
want to
over
go to the actual
north. You went to that
Yeah.
north one.
Yeah,
Yeah, gotcha. I know what you're talking about.
there. We should go right now.
Dude,
Yeah, we
let's do a
could show
field
you.
trip, dude.
Yeah, do field trip.
I'll show you some stains on the floor, bro. I'm like, hey, bro, that right there,
That's where Ed knocked his head
oh,
Is
from
that
the cart.
blood stains, bro.
Blood stains.
Oh, dude, right here. This
Yeah,
is it right here.
That's where you got the name Harry Potter.
All right, I think we should say bye, dude.
Okay, I think so. I think we're just rambling.
All right, guys, bye.
Bye.